Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into my channel again, and thanks for making the comments down there. So a lot of you requested, they wanted to hear some of the buyer's guide if you're trying to buy a G35. And I know the concerns. When you're buying a car that's 10, 12 years old, you might be concerned with what goes wrong with it. So my first car, I had a 240SX. I bought it, it's a 1989, it was when I was in high school. And I graduated in 02, so it was right around year 2000 when I bought the 240SX. And I was concerned too, it was an older car, how it would do. I think I got it with 110, 115,000 miles on it, and I ran it all the way to 230,000 miles on it. And it didn't blow up. A friend of mine ended up actually wrecking it, is what happened. The car still ran just fine. So today what I want to go over is the plane flying above. Alright, that's done. So today what I want to go over is some of the things you can expect that may go wrong with the G35. All cars have their issues and quirks. I wanted to go over what the G35 will have, and also I wanted to go over any car you're buying, some of the things that you should look at before making that purchase to know what you're getting yourself into. So I know this video is going to add value, and I hope you guys enjoy it, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, let's do this.
In my life, go away with you.
And what do you see?
Okay, the very first thing you should check is, I learned this when I went to, okay, for the record, I have an IT degree. I'm not, I don't sell cars for a living at all, but I'm a car enthusiast. So I try to figure out, just like with drugs, where the source is. So I try to find out the dealer. So the dealer for cars would be Manheim. Goddamn planes. So the dealer for this would be Manheim. That's where dealers go to get their car. So I went to an auto auction and I saw the guys taking their finger and they were doing this. They were taking their finger and they were running it all down the lines of the car. And I would ask them, I was like, why are you taking your finger and running down the lines of the car? And they told me any car that's actually been painted, the overspray will actually be rough around the edges here. So if it's completely smooth as you take your finger down the crack of the car, which mine is, you could tell it's not been repainted. So, well, actually my hood has been repainted, so I can tell it's been painted. I'll take that back. It is a little rough right there, rough right there. And the reason I repainted my hood is because I had rock chips on it. Then I put a clear brawl on it myself, and I also put a clear brawl on the front bumper so it stayed looking like this. Okay, the second thing you want to check is the oil cap. You want to look on the back of the oil cap to see if there's any sludge on it. So let's do that. Alright, so here's my motor. So let's take a look at my oil cap, which is a little bit warm. There's my air intake, my 75mm throttle body. So as you look at the bottom of this oil cap, it is hot. See? There's no sludge, straight oil. So if you see a car that has sludge under the oil cap, you know the oil wasn't changed. Okay, as you can see here, here's my my girlfriend's BMW E46. We bought it about 5 years ago when we picked it out. So what I wanted to show you on it is she picked it out. Well, I picked the car out, but she had to have a car that day. There was no searching around, shopping. She was actually going to get a Scion. And I saw this in the very back, and I've always loved the E46, so I picked this. But here's one thing. Remember when I was telling you guys about Castrol GTX being on the BMW oil cap? There it is, as proof. So what I wanted to show you is on her oil cap, if you look, see all the sludge on her cap? She don't know. See that? So if you see a car with a lot of sludge like that, I mean, this car has 160,000 miles. I think she got it when it had 110. Believe it or not, BMW has a built-in catch can. They call it their PCCV. It has like a rubber diaphragm in it. And so they know about oil and blow-by oil and blow-by gases, because BMW actually, instead of recycling it through the motor, they invented their own catch can to catch it. So what I'm trying to show here is, yeah, this car consumes about 1.5 quarts, maybe a little over 1 quart every 1,000 miles. It's got 160,000 miles on it. Let's see if we can look down in there. But you just want to look down in the valve cover and see if you see sludge on an oil cap like this. I mean, doesn't mean the motor won't work. It still runs. This has 160,000 miles on it. It runs okay. Just means the owner before it didn't change the oil like they're supposed to. There shouldn't be sludge like that on your oil cap. Mine doesn't have any. Now the next thing you're going to do if you're dead serious about getting a car, it only costs 29 bucks, is you could take an oil sample if they haven't just changed the oil and send it into Blackstone Labs, and they can do an analysis of the oil to actually tell you what's going on in the motor. They'll tell you how many parts per million pieces of metal that are stuck in the engine. And also you should be concerned about oil consumption, which that's hard because no one's going to tell you the truth on their oil consumption if they're trying to sell you a car. So if you want to know more about oil consumption, also what oil to use, I'll put the links down in the video below because that would take up way too much time, and I already have videos posted on oil consumption, what to do about it, also oil, used oil lab results sent into Blackstone Labs. So please check that out down below. Okay, the next thing you want to do when buying a car is you want to look for any oil leaks around the valve cover. You want to check all fluids. So let's see if we go down in here. Let's see if I can get my valve cover. It's a little dirty. There we go. There's a little metal part of it down there. See that metal? See if that had oil sludge on it? There you go. If that had oil sludge on it, you would know that valve cover is leaking and oil is seeping out. So that's something you want to keep an eye on, is you want to look at your valve covers and see if you're leaking any oil. So you want to check all fluids, so including in here. There's your master cylinder, and there's the clutch fluid that goes down to your slave cylinder. So you want to see if those fluids are completely black, you know no one's ever changed it. Yeah, ask for a discount. Okay, the next thing to look for is exhaust smoke. You want to look at what color the exhaust smoke is. If it's white or if it's bluish gray, well actually if it's white, that can be blown head gasket or it could just be water. If it's bluish gray, a grayish kind of blue color, you're definitely burning oil. And you just have to Google what exactly they are. I'm pretty sure that's what that one is. And then if it's just black smoke, that means you're running a little rich, or like there's just too much fuel in the combustion chamber that's not burning, puffing out big black smoke. So, you know, your car, when you mash on it, it really shouldn't puff out anything until the very end, maybe a wee little bit of like soot. Other than that, if the exhaust is completely clear when somebody's in there flooring it and you're back there looking at the exhaust pipe and it looks good, that's telling you got a good running engine. Please cue the exhaust smoke. We will look at some dyno runs with Motordyne Shockwave exhaust with clear smoke, and then some that had a little bit of black coming at the end. Okay, the next thing, gotta turn the radio down. Oh yeah, and for the people that are wondering, I have a 12-volt relay, just telling the fans out here. I have a 12-volt relay where I'm able to watch music videos while driving. I don't watch movies. I never watch movies actually because they're too long. So yes, I always play music videos, but this one I can play the sound because it won't flag my video for copyright. So what I want to talk about is the transmission. Okay, so the transmission. When you're looking to buy a G35, there's some things to know about the transmission. And on a manual transmission, not the automatics, I'm not too sure on that. So in the 03, 04, if you're looking to buy one, their transmissions didn't have beefed up synchros. So as they aged, when you shift into the third and fifth gear, it would grind. And it's because of the synchros. So what you'd have to do is go real slow into those gears so the synchros can actually engage and it gets into the spot it's supposed to be. So if you buy a G35 with a manual transmission from 05 to 07, they came, well, it's real weird how it works because I have an 05 and the CD009 transmission, which came with the beefier synchros, came out in 05, but it was late model 05. So if you get an early model 05 G35, you might not have the CD009 transmission. You have to check with the manufacturer or the dealer. If you have a late model like this is a 2005, but it's a late model from November. So I validated it. It does have the CD009 transmission, which comes with the beefier synchros. So I have 160,000 miles on this car, and my transmission runs like a champ. I changed the oil in it, the gear oil, which is 75W90 weight is what I use. With AMSOIL. I change it every 30,000, actually every 40,000 miles, right around there. 160,000 miles, this transmission does not grind at all. And it's not a big deal if yours does grind, or if you find a G and you really want it, you could still get the CD009 transmission. I think you can get them for like 1,500 bucks now. And drop that in there when you do a clutch, bam, you're good to go. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the seat switches. The seat switches, they're a known issue. What happens here, it's not actually the motor, it's usually the switch. I have the same problem. This seat will go forward, it'll go backwards, but it won't lean forward. But if you press back, it'll lean back and it won't come back up. So I haven't got around to it for the passenger side. Unfortunately, you have to remove the whole seat, pull out this stupid little switch, and there's two like silver balls inside of it, and they need cleaned with some alcohol. Or you can just buy a brand new switch from Infiniti. So this is very common that your seats won't work. So it really only affects the passenger. Well, I guess if you're buying a new car and the driver's seat's already in a certain position and you can't get it to where you want it, you're going to have to address this issue right away. Okay, next on this is the stereo. When you get a G35, mine had it had a 6-disc and it sucks in CDs and plays MP3 players, which I thought was cool. The thing that sucked about it is every time it'd go, "Arr!" it'd have a fucking error. So it would always freeze on me all the time, and it's notorious. I would not go out and retry to buy the OEM unit. You're much better off buying a double din. Yes, this is a cheaper double din. This is a Metro kit. I think I paid $200 just for the double din, and then I installed the Pioneer head unit myself. I'd like to get the JDM one, but they still charge $300 just for the bezel that goes around here. I mean, this looks okay. I've had it for a little over 5 years. I mean, it does the job, but I will be updating it eventually. Okay, next on the list, things you might want to look out for is your trunk button might not work. There's a trunk button located right here. So you might be pressing it and nothing happens. Sometimes some people forget to disengage the I don't want you to find my drug button that Nissan installed. And the button I'm talking about is in here in the glove box. Let's see if I can get a light on it. There's a button right here that you press and it disables the trunk. Let me see if I can get a light. Alright, phone, do your thing. Okay, right there. You see that button right there? So if you hit that button, the trunk won't work at all. So somebody may have accidentally left that button on and you think your trunk doesn't work. I've had, it can happen. So just go ahead and hit that button and your trunk will unlock. I'm not sure what they put that in there for, but that is an awesome feature. Because if you just don't want anyone to get in your trunk, you just say, my trunk's broken. I don't know why it won't open. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the fuel gauge. So even though my fuel pump didn't go out in this car, it's a 10-year-old car. Well, it was 10 years at the time I replaced the fuel pump. I just don't want to wait for it to go out. The fuel needle doesn't read right. So it'll always say it's fuel when the tank isn't actually fuel. So I pulled out the sending unit, which is under the back seat, along with the fuel pump, and I tried to clean it and make it work. I didn't want to put a new one in because it didn't really bother me that much, and here's why. Because a lot of people don't understand how a fuel pump works, and a fuel pump needs fuel to actually be cooled. So this is a little tip for my subscribers out there. Don't be running your car on E. If you run your car on E all the time, your fuel pump's gonna fail. So I go off the mileage. My needle's wrong all the time. I just go off the mileage. After 200 miles, I fill the tank up. So if you run your tank on E all the time, there's not enough gas around the fuel pump to keep it cool. So it's a motor. So if you have it on E, there's no fluid around the motor, and the motor is exposed to the air and actually gets hot, and it will fail. Okay, next on the list is the door lock actuators. They're known to go out, and your door locks don't work. But be very happy this works right here. I have my girlfriend, as you know, has the BMW E46 M3, or not M3, just a 325 CI, sorry, I don't know why I said M3. And when her door actuators actually went out, it has one of these buttons back here that sucks in. So you can't even unlock the car. Actually, when hers went out, the car locked her in and she couldn't get out. Because the stupid computer, it's the G5 module, when it freezes, it puts on something of the anti-theft, and she had to crawl out the window to get out of her car. She couldn't get out her door at all. So luckily Infiniti, rocket science, you can get out of your car. So let's go out here and also look. Another thing on her car, well, let me turn that motor off actually. I'm gonna sit here and let this thing run. Thanks. So on her car, since BMW, here's exactly what the dealership told me, is I've been using this key lock for probably 6 years because I haven't replaced the lock actuator, and it works every time. On her car, which is the BMW, when her door lock thing went out, we tried using this and it broke. And the guy told us I actually had to pull it out and I replaced it myself. He told me it wasn't designed to be used with a key. I go, then why would you put a keyhole in the door if it's not designed to be used with it? He says, no, it's just as backup. Well, obviously, Nissan and Infiniti, this, on most of the cars, must have been their primary way to get in, so they kept the robust engineering of the keyhole. Imagine that. So it wouldn't break. Like, this has never broke on me at all. I can use my key at any time, and that's why I'm being too lazy to fix my door lock actuators. This door doesn't work, but the passenger side door does. So if I'm on a date with the girlfriend, yeah, I'll use the key button for her to let her in and out. Other than that, I use my finger to open the door. Okay, the next thing you want to look out for when you're buying a G35 is the headlights. So on the 06, 07 models, they got these new updated headlights. The 03, 04, 05 did not. They don't have this projector beam. And the main problem with them is they look okay. These definitely look better. Is look at the bottle. They got yellow all of the time. So when I say look at the bottle, what I mean is they put a G35 on the cover. And that's obvious because they were notorious for their headlights turning yellow. My 05, it was every week I had to put this bullshit on there to get the yellow haze off the light. It was like a fungus inside the light that was growing. So I went ahead and got the 06, 07 projectors because this is an 05. I'm not sure on the price of these anymore, but there was an artificial market stimulation where they said they weren't making these headlights anymore and people were freaking out. And I remember it because I was trying to get my hands on one and they wanted $1,000 a headlight, which was ridiculous. Pretty sure you can get them for about $600 for a pair now, which that's more reasonable. Okay, the next item on the list is your cam sensors. So you G35 owners out there are familiar with your cam sensors. People that are new that are just buying the car may not be. They do go out, and when they go out, the car will run like shit. The thing is a lot of people don't know, they go and buy the Nissan cam sensors. You can go to O'Reilly's because they give a lifetime warranty on the cam sensors. My sensors they haven't gone out in a long time, but when they do go out, they're completely free. So there's one sensor that's all the way back here. It's down, it's really easy to get to. It's just an 8mm bolt. You just unscrew it. Let me get a light so we can actually do this the right way. Okay, I got a light. So you see the green down there? That's your cam sensor. Very easy to get to. I mean, even if it goes out, you could do it on the side of the road. Actually, don't do it on the side of the road. Oh shit, there goes my light. Because your engine block will be very hot, and that's an easy way to strip out the threads in the block. You want to make sure it's completely cool when you pull that out. But if you had to on the side of the road, I would just put the bolt in finger tight. The other side's a little bit more difficult to get to. It's underneath this. So it's doable. You just got to pull the air intake off to get your hand under there. So those are the two camshaft sensors that will go bad. I mean, those go bad on any car. The G35 is no exception to the rule, but that is a common thing. And what's good about it is you just go buy them from O'Reilly's, you get a lifetime warranty, so if they ever go out, you just bring it back in, they give you another one for free. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do, this is with any car, is you want to try to look underneath the car and see if there's any fluids leaking anywhere. Is there fluid leaking out of the differential? If there's fluid coming out of places, you need to bring that up. That's the first thing I do is look underneath the car. If it's experienced low life, people where they drag their car across the ground and they like it. That could also, be a factor, something you want to look at. So, on the G35s, let me crawl under here. They're pretty notorious. I put a diff cover on. Is this differential bushing right here from the factory that actually has oil in it, and the oil is supposed to use. So when you get on it, and the drive shaft has a little bit of vibration in it, and needs to put that power to the ground. If that's busted, you have really bad wheel hop, which is what I used to have. So if you go to Infiniti, they say, oh yeah, this is busted. So they want you to replace the entire subframe assembly, which is like $1,800 just for the assembly. And then they because it comes with the bushing installed from the factory. No, that's not what you do. We're not gonna buy and put in another shitty OEM bushing that busts again. And the way you know it's busted, I think I already said it, is there'll be oil dripping down the back of you'll see the oil dripping out of it. So look for oil dripping out of it. So all you do is you go, it's $90. It's all it costs me to do is you go to White Line, which they make the best bushings ever. They're all polyurethane. That's what I got the whole car with. And I can show it to you right now, actually. Hold on here real quick. All right, here we are back in my book of everything I've done. So, let's see here. Yep, that's when I installed the stereo, put new speakers everywhere, installed this amp, 800 watt amp to some 6x9s, not to some subwoofers, because in my stock portfolio I invest in hearing aid companies, because our generation listens to these boom boxes and their hearing's going to go out. I'll make a lot of money when they got to buy hearing aids later on in life. But yeah, that's a side note. Maybe you can buy some stock on it too. Where is it? Oh yeah, I forgot about the seat repair. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, here it is. So here's my old, there's the old bushing right there, which it was busted because I had really bad wheel hop. And here's when I installed the new one. See, here's what I'm talking about. Right there's the oil you can see inside of it. So this is when I had to pull it out. This is the device I created to pull out the bushing. So then once you get the OEM bushing out, you actually have to take a saw and cut this little ring out. That's what presses it in, because they say you can't, it's not a pressable bushing. It can't be pressed in. Bullshit. So as you can see here, I went ahead and put it in, no problem. To make sure it went in easier, I just went ahead and put it in the freezer. So it just slid right in and then it expanded. I didn't have an issue with it at all. So since I already had the differential out, I went ahead and had it rebuilt, just because. Why not? I already had it out. Okay, the next thing to look out for is there's a TSB on the seat rip. So seat rips happen on all cars, especially the driver's side. It has to do with your wallet mainly. But on this TSB, if you decide to get the seat cover fixed, here's the thing you might want to know, is they talk about this right here. There's an actual piece of metal that causes that seat rip. See, it says round off the edges. A TSB is an actual technical service bulletin. Let's see here, you can see it. Tear and driver seat cushion trim. So this is what they said you needed to do when you went in there, is they would shave down that metal piece and they'd redo your seats. So I went in there and they wanted like $500 to fix my seat. And I said, you guys are crazy. So I went to Gas Monkey Garage when I lived in Dallas, and Sue at ASM Upholstery, right there, where's that price? $129. She fixed that seat for $129. And there's what it looks like. Look how perfect it is. Actually, let's go look at it in person. So for 100, she shaved off the piece of metal, and for 130 bucks, look at that. And I said, put some extra cushion in there. I want some more bolster in it to make it real. I really like it. She did actually a really great job. So it looks perfect. So yeah, you may get a G and this will be ripped. Just shop around. Don't go to the dealership, go to an upholstery shop, and fair rate, fair market value is 130 bucks. Be like, hey, Sue off Gas Monkey Garage, she has a TV show, and she's charging 130. You want 300? You don't have a TV show. Tell me why you want 300. Alright, the next thing you want to check is you want to see if somebody rolled the fenders. These fenders come out a little bit straight like this. So if people wanted more than the low life of 2 fingers, see I got KWV3s in there, as you can see, if they wanted it lower than 2 fingers because they like to drag across the ground, they roll this lip. And the problem with rolling this lip is it bends it all the way up. So any moisture, dirt, all that junk gets stuck up in the lip. And if you don't wipe it out, this will cause this to rust. So people rolling their lips is going to cause cars to rust. So you want to check to make sure your lips aren't rolled. Another thing, see if I can get in here. KW suspension is looking good. I installed that. If you want to see that video, check my channel. The next thing is the lower control arm bushing, and I replaced that with white line. So what happens when this lower control arm bushing goes out? Let's see if I can get on it. Right here. Damn, that zoom's fucking good. There it is. So when that goes out, what happens is there's metal on metal rubbing. So your car, when you take real short turns, real slow in a parking lot, you hear this metal grinding noise. And don't go replace it with OEM because it won't last long again. You got to go with aftermarket. Go with white line bushings. See if I can get my finger in front of it here so I can point to it. It's that right there. So there's a big rubber polyurethane bushing that goes across there that this lower control arm hooks onto. So that's a common problem, is the LCA, lower control arm bushing going out, causing a metal grinding that you will hear only when you take corners really slow in a parking lot. Okay, for the record, this is an amazing car, and these are documented to do 300,000 miles. I have 160,000 miles with very minimal maintenance to this car. All cars have maintenance. This concern I want to bring up is for maybe the owners that actually have the car that are subscribed to my channel. Thank you. This is about if you're getting a lien code and you can't figure out where the lien code's coming from. You've checked your gasket here, there's no leaks here, because you might get a lien code from a vacuum leak. What happens is, unfortunately, no one wants to do it, is you're going to have to replace the O2 sensors. There's 4 of them. There's 2 in front of the catalytic converter, and there's 2 behind the catalytic converter, which are for the downstream. So I had a lien code, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It would pop up once every 2 months, then it would pop up once a month, and then, I mean, it popped up once a month for like 2 or 3 months, and then it started like popping up once every 2 weeks. Then it started popping up once a week. And once it started popping up once a week, I knew it was a sensor. So I actually took a Cypher and I looked at the sensor, and I could actually see it in real time, and I could see it wasn't fluctuating back and forth the way it should be, which is in another one of my videos. I'm not going to go in detail now because it would just take too long. You can go to my video on how to do Cypher logs, where I was actually looking at the O2 sensor. So if you have a lien code and you can't really figure it out, you're going to have to bite the bullet. The sensors are 150 bucks. So I mean, I think I spent 500 bucks. Some were like 180, some were more expensive, because the two O2 sensors in front of the catalytic converter, they control the air to fuel ratio with the mass airflow sensor. So I could pop up the service manual so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, as you can see here, here's the O2 sensor. There's the one that goes down into the cat, and then here's the one that goes into the actual header right here before the cat. So the one that goes in before, like I was saying, is the one that actually measures the air to fuel ratio. And unfortunately on this one, they don't offer a lifetime warranty at the parts store, so I did go OEM. But don't pay somebody to put these in. They're pretty simple. You just have to get the socket to go around it, and then you just crawl under your car and you can easily exchange them yourself. So I just wanted to show an illustration of where they're actually at. So once you went ahead and you replaced the O2 sensors, I had no issues at all with the lien code. The car ran perfectly fine. I went with, I think I did Bosch, because it's an OEM manufacturer, that's what they use, and I haven't had any problems.